Good morning, traders. This is the Professor 1970. Today is October 17th. I have decided to do an updated video on how I draw the lines, as well as some other uh, things related to the cloud. It's basically a refresher course as well as some new stuff. So hopefully you enjoy this video. Please like it. Please comment on it. I would appreciate it. First and foremost, I actually came across this method, or whatever you want to call it, these lines, back in March of 2022, when the market was trading right around this level here. I was watching the cloud. We were busting through, and I started drawing lines based upon these little crevices I see in the cloud, and it was actually worked really well. I've used lines to predict the close many times. I use it as both entries and targets, and they're basically different levels of where price momentarily either reverses, either compresses, maybe reverses momentarily before it ticks up. You just have to use the levels, watch them, but more than that, we at least have a couple of ticks on that line on a 1 minute or 5 minute chart. First and foremost, all these lines are drawn on a weekly chart, and then I basically trade them on either a 1 minute or a 5 minute chart, level to level. But I will go all over that. So just want to give you a little bit of background. The cloud right here is basically the Ichimoku cloud. I get rid of all the leading indicators, the lines. I don't need that. I'm only interested in the actual cloud. And what that's basically made of is a bunch of moving averages that are then, you can look it up. It's easy to look up online, but that then project a cloud based upon price, and try to project price in the future. So it's basically a bunch of moving averages that project price into the future. But what I do is I use the lines in the past, and I'm going to show you that. So basically, I'm moving to a daily cloud right here. Here's a daily cloud. Here's where we currently are. You know, you can draw these vertical lines if you want, what many people do. But what I found, and I kind of lucked into this, I started drawing these lines based upon where all these flat parts are in the cloud. You can see all these little dips and stuff like that. And I just started drawing lines to see what they would do. And I found that these lines actually act as resistance levels or support levels or targets or entry levels or momentary reverses, or places where we compress for a period of time. So I only trade SPY or futures, and the reason for that being is that the cloud is based on technical indicators. It doesn't account for any news, so it doesn't work as well as equities. People ask me all the time, this is great, it's amazing how accurate it is. Why can't I use this on equities? I've done it before, but if there's a news event, it will wipe you out quickly because it doesn't account for that. And futures and the S&P 500 are a little bit more technical based, and that's why I like this. This is the only indicator that I know of that actually tries to project price into the future, and that's why I like it. So we're going to go over, I'm going to draw a couple lines today, and then we're going to look at today's price action. So basically what I do is when I draw lines, I basically see where current price action is, which is right around here. And I start by going ahead and kind of drawing, first off, right now we are trading below the cloud right here. So when we went below the cloud, that's actually bearish. We kind of traded all the way down here. We're trying to make a way back. I don't get positive until we trade above this cloud level right here. But for now, just that's my bias. But anyway, what I do is, if we're trading below the cloud, I always go to the immediate left cloud of the price zone. So right now, this whole cloud right here is accurate. So you can, if we were trading above here, I would have to use the cloud line way back here from, April 2022, right up here. Okay. So whenever this cloud isn't valid anymore, and that's either going to be down here, this level, or up here, this level. Otherwise, I'm just going to use this cloud right here, right now, this section of the cloud. Okay, so let me get rid of that. So anyway, So that's first and foremost. I do not use the cloud in the future unless we are trading inside the cloud. When we're trading inside the cloud right here, it's a lot of chop. You can kind of see it. Then I use both sides of this cloud to kind of gauge where the levels are. But since we are right here, right now, we're right here, I'm going to go ahead and start drawing lines. I'm going to kind of zoom in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use orange lines for the right side of the cloud, which is all are these levels, and blue lines for all these levels here. So I'll start with, I'll just kind of go over here first, and I'm going to work my way up. I'll start in, and what I normally do is I kind of zoom in. Okay, and I use TC2000 to chart, and TC2000 only uses SPY. It does not do futures, but I like this software, so I kind of convert my SPY to whatever the future prices are. So kind of zoom in. There's one. Then I kind of look for the next one. You know, here's one. There's a little dip. So I'm kind of just looking for places that are flat or tend to have more resistance. There's one here too. These tend to be a little bit weaker. They're not as defined, but I'll want to draw them anyway. So kind of right in there. Okay, and then I just keep going. And I'll just keep going here for a second. I'm trying to do this fast. Okay. Oops. All right. And sometimes I have to go, I have to kind of scroll down. But anyway, if you do that on all these little points and then do this on the right-hand side, I already did it over here. So I'm going to go show you what that looks like. Okay. So here are all those lines and that I already drew, and I don't want to go through that process because it'll take up half an hour of the video, but it's done pretty quickly. You can do it. You kind of zoom in. You can kind of see here on the right-hand side how we use the levels. There was one here. You know, there's one tiny one there, there, and so forth. So that's it. Okay, so now we have our daily chart. Here are our lines for the day. And you can kind of see that we started this morning. Let me zoom out a little bit. We zoomed up actually to this line. This 434.66 line is kind of where we closed at yesterday. And then overnight we traded up, and then this morning we kind of traded all the way down, right down to this line, and we bounced from it. And then if you go to a 1-minute chart, which I'll do here. I like trading on the 1-minute chart because you can really see the candles. You know, you can see, look, we blasted through these two. Once you blast through, it's most likely that we're going to go to the next line, and we blasted through this. And then when we got to this line, we got our compression. There's no lines right here between 434.66 and 437.33. If you go to the daily, okay, which is like right in here, you can see it's smooth line. There's no dips. So there's nothing for me to work off of. So we're either going to go trade up here to this level, up here to this 437.33 level, or back down. And right now, we're filling the gap basically from this morning where we traded down. So I'm expecting that we're going to test this level up here. So, you know, we could see a little reversal right here. I use Trade Exchange, by the way, which is a new service. If you go onto my Twitter feed and you go on my pinned tweet, you can see a link to it where you can actually sign up. It's $90 for 3 months, and sometimes we have 40% off discounts. It's a new service for traders, by traders, but it's really nice because it basically, I'll show it to you. Hold on here 1 second. Let me just pull it up. Bear with me here 1 second. This is what it looks like. Okay, it basically gives you information right here. Like right now, Fed is talking. Right now, still seeing confirmation the economy is slowing. You know, they always have the same kind of headlines, but it's really nice, and it gives you the economic news. And every morning, it actually starts off with a link. You know, what your top pre-market movers are, big cap. Also, you know, who's talking, who's not talking. Just all kinds of good information. So anyway, check it out. We do get paid a referral fee, so I will say that, but it's so worth the money. Anyway, so let's get back to here where we are now. So this is kind of what it looks like. If I go back to a 30-minute chart, I just kind of want to show you what it looks like over the lines. You can kind of see how it respects certain line. Obviously, this is just a line I used to draw on the cloud. I didn't use any historical, chart, like I didn't use any candles to draw these lines. It's just all based off the cloud. I mean, it's just, I do not use 30-minute, 1 hour. I'm just showing, I can zoom out using those things, but the lines are drawn only using the daily. I get all the time, well, the 30-minute, I draw it on a 30-minute, and well, yeah, you got to draw it on a daily. Again, these are what, I don't know. There's a lot of auto traders out there. Who knows what they use. I know it's all technical based, and they have a lot of wording that they look for as well. But I swear that a lot of times my lines, you know, hit a line perfectly and then reverse immediately, and then you see some algo news come out, and the algo traders hit it perfectly too. So you'll just have to play with it. I don't tell you how to trade these lines. You got to figure that out for yourself. I have my certain methods and strategies that I use. On my Twitter account, you can pick up some stuff there, here and there. I don't get paid for it, so I don't sit there and try to teach you my methods. I want you to use your own method. This is just a way of using these lines for your benefit. There's a lot of times where I can say, an hour before, let's say we're trading here, I can say, okay, we're going to close at 430, 466 and within a penny. And you'll just have to play with it and see for yourself. And, when you draw these lines on the daily, let me show you this thing too right here. When you're drawing these lines, it's easy to, oh, wait, I'm in the weekly. I was like, wait, that didn't look right. You have to zoom in, and sometimes you have to really zoom in, because if you're not real accurate, you can be off 5 cents or 10 cents, and it does make a difference. So you just have to kind of zoom on TC2000. All I have to do is do this, and I can really, pinpoint right there. So right now we're between this line and this line down here. So that's what we're looking at. And there's really nothing for me. I was hoping I could show you a trade right here. So we're coming off of the gap fill right now. So I could short this maybe and see if we get a dip. I don't see anything I like, just because we're really in between two lines. I'd much rather be down here at this line, so I could either trade to the downside here or trade up from this side, or be up here in these lines and do the same. So really I'm in wait and see mode right now. So I can't tell you what it does, but you can see the compression at these lines. We have compression here, we have compression here. We blew through these lines. It didn't come out with any news, so I don't know why, but we had a momentary lapse. So we went up to it, and then we traded down, then we hit it again. You can see that, and then here we had to go through, then we traded back to the blue line again, and then boom, moved higher. And then since then we've been kind of trading right around here. Look at some previous days, you can kind of see the same action. Right here you can see we hit this line perfectly up here, and boom, traded down. So we've tested this line up here once. If we scroll back on the 5-minute chart, this is basically dating back to first part of September, or what is that, probably 18th or something was the last time we traded. We've hit this line once, twice, we'll call that 3 times. So the next time we trade up to this line, most likely it's gotten weak now since it's been tested 3 times. It may fill a fourth. It may take 4 or 5 times before we push through. But we got to be aware that there's a good possibility that we probably, if we get to this line, that we're going to trade through these lines, and probably going to test the 50 and the 100 most likely. Not always the case. We could trade right back up here, and bam. It just depends on what's going on. Read what the news is of today. You're going to have to make those decisions. You have to put some thought into it, what it is. And also, I will say, I got a lot of traders ask, well, how do you know what the market's going to do? Well, I don't. The market, I mean, you could say, when it's obvious to you that the market should be going down, the market's probably going to go up. And when it's obvious that the market should go up, the market's probably going to go down. And that's on a daily basis. I am a short-term trader. I can say, we're going to hit 442.61 up here. But That's not going to happen today, I don't think. You know what I mean? I only look at it because I am a day trader. I'm mostly in cash at the end of the day. Sometimes I go longer period. I'm only really interested in today. I'm not really interested in tomorrow. I do look at what earnings are coming out, what may be happening after hours to see if there's a trade there. Occasionally, I will take it. I will manage my risk with either one contract or two contracts instead of my normal four contracts that I trade. And everybody's different, use MES if you need to. I use ES mostly, but there's times definitely where I use MES so to have more flexibility. It's easier to trade 40 contracts, more commissions, sure, but it's easier to trade 40 contracts of MES in terms of managing where you want to get out. So let's say, for example, I take a trade here. I go long right here, right? And I have two ES contracts and we shoot up to right here. Well, I'm probably going to have to sell. At that point because of the reversal. Well, let's say I had 40 MES contracts. I have a little flexibility then because I could say, okay, let me just sell 5 here, and then I'll set the rest to sell for right in case it backtracks. But if we do pop through, at least I have the benefit of the 35 other contracts, and I'll sell 5 here, and so on. So anyway, that's up to you. Maybe I should do a video one time, a live video with questions and answers so I can answer people's questions. But again, the orange lines are the right side. The orange lines are the right side of the cloud, okay? And the blue lines are the left side of this cloud, okay? Again, if price action is above the cloud, I have to use a cloud that's way back here. If we're trading above any cloud, then that's the highs. There's no projections. You have to wait till we get back in the crowd, back into the cloud. Same thing if we hit historical lows, but we have to go trade way down here to 249. You can see basically on the weekly basis. Let me show you this because this is how I kind of came into it. This is a weekly chart of SPY with the cloud, and it dates back to 2013 when I was talking right here. The cloud, we entered back into the cloud originally, and then we popped back out and re-entered it, retested. I said, I think this was in March or something like that of 2022. I said, guys, go short. I'm going short, and the market just absolutely tanked. It was basically the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 time that we had traded below the cloud in 10 years, and I knew it was going to be a doozy. This was, I believe this was 2021 stuff right here. So, COVID. Anyway, so it always helps to kind of zoom out to see what the overall market does. There's a lot of people that will draw trend lines like this, and that's fine. It's just a lot of work, and you get a lot of lines on your chart, and me by putting in my lines, it's a lot cleaner, and it works. And I come up with it's the same lines. I follow some people on Twitter, and they're very good at what they do with with their trend lines and so forth. But we come up with the exact same numbers. It's bizarre, but mine takes literally 10 minutes. And now I have all these lines drawn. They don't change. I mean, they may change very, very slightly. Sometimes I have to adjust them because of my own stupid stuff. But these cloud lines in the past do not change. So once you have these lines drawn, they're there. They repeat. So, which is nice, so you don't have to do any more work. So we're really just kind of hanging out here in the gap fill where we kind of closed yesterday. If I turn on pre-market, kind of see, this is with, by the way, when I draw these lines, I have pre-market off. Okay. Here's pre-market. You can see this was the yellow is the close of yesterday's close. And you can kind of see that we are trading really right at yesterday's close, which means to me that we're most likely going to go higher unless some news comes out. I just don't see anything tradable right here because we can also easily reverse. So I'm just in wait mode, really. Anyway, that is the cloud. This is how I use the cloud from a projection. I can say, hey, if we trade above this yellow line and set a new high right here, and we do have some Fed speak. And maybe some of the earnings tomorrow are gonna, people think they're gonna be good. I can draw a line right here that this is the pre-market high, right? It's just a way of looking at it. If we go above that, I'm going to take that long and I'm going to aim for that right there. So that's just kind of how I use it. I also use, some other indicators that I'll talk about some other time. But anyway, it's kind of a little updated video. I hope you like it. I know it's not anything new from kind of what you've seen in the past. It's really for new people, but I wanted to, it's so simple. I just wanted to kind of update what the colors. I mean, the purple lines are the 50 and the 100-day moving average. The yellow one is the 200-day. The red is just, the red and the green lines are the lines I've drawn now. If we break price below that or get above it, I have to draw new lines. Or if you start trading in the cloud or above the cloud, I have to draw new lines. That's it. It's that simple. Wanted to keep it somewhat short. So let me know what you guys think. And then I will, if I have time this week, I'm going to try to do a live trading video using these exact lines to show you how I do it. Okay. Well, here's the breakout. So actually, look at that right on cue. Let's see if we get one. I mean, I traded right up there and traded down. So it was right to that pre-market high, which is right here on this level right here, and traded off of it. So I'm going to watch that. If it breaks above it right there, just draw a white line. That's you use white line so I don't get confused with other lines, and see if it goes. Now, if we trade back below here, then it's just chop, and we'll see. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like the video. I'll try to do some more, and I'll get into a little bit more of how I use VWAP in my trading. Here's VWAP down here. A lot of times you get a reversal, a test, and a bounce. That's all things for more education and others. I just want to keep it simple. This is about cloud lines. Invented by me. You won't find it anywhere else. Again, Professor 1970. Appreciate it.